early morning, and today I'm at Lake Gregory, just south of Bundaberg. Now, I've caught a few bass in my time, and that's what I'll be chasing today, the Australian bass. So to make things a little bit more tricky, a little bit more challenging, I'll be trying to catch bass on 3 different techniques. We've started out early. The fish are probably going to be high in the water column. So I'm getting out there now. I don't want to miss any of the action. I'm in shallow water. Here the depth is only 4 foot deep, so it's only, that deep. And I'm firing casts up in around structure. There's a lot of lilies, a lot of grasses, so I'll put a cast out there, right up deep into it, as far as I can get it. So it's right up in there. Doesn't hurt just to let it sit there for a little while. Give it a couple little bloops like that, just to start drawing attention to it. Then I'm going to walk it out slowly. Now the beauty of these walk the dog surface lures is that it's such a subtle technique. There's no big splashing. It's not going to spook tiny fish, certainly not going to spook big fish. What it does is it attracts them over to it. And if you give it a good long pause, it gives them a chance to come out of all their little structure, all their little hidey holes that are in there, and come and ambush it. So there we go, just cruising along, just doing that nice little subtle walk the dog action. It's going side to side, side to side. Once you get it into a good zone, it pays to pause it for a long time, and just give it a couple of these little bloops like that. And pause it again. Just looks like you've thrown a little pebble in the water. It just gets those little ringlets around it. There we go again, little ringlets. Pause it there, just waiting to see if anything's going to come over. Once we've given it a good pause, it's time to walk again. So here we go, we walk it along. And a strike can come at any time. A lot of times they'll come as you're just pausing the lure, but most times, as soon as you start to move it again. There's a boil behind it, there's a fish right near it. I'm just going to twitch it again, see if he strikes. And yep, I'm on! Oh, here we go, that little fish, oh, he's in the weed. He's absolutely nailed this little zip and ziggy. Oh, got some weight there. Oh, he's covered in weed, that's why. Oh, come here, mate. Got a great start. Oh, he's only just hooked. Get him in the net. I'll pop him in there, yeah, there we go. Oh, a nice little bass. Oh, he's absolutely nailed that lure. Let's take a look at him. And there we go. A beautiful little fish, about 35 centimetres long. This bass absolutely nailed that surface lure. He didn't miss it. Got it first go and got me down into the weeds, but I got him out. Now, it's too early to stop surface fishing. It's my favourite way to catch bass. So I'm going to let this fella go and see if I can get another one. There you go, buddy. Catch you later. In any fishing, if you want to catch fish, you have to go to where the fish are. So sometimes that means, a big long cast like that over the top of all those lilies. Once I hook the fish, I'm going to worry about getting it back through there. You've got to hook it first. And sometimes there's no other way to hook it but to go in there. Oh, there's a boil on it. And again, oh, I missed it. He missed it. So pause that lure. Don't pull it away from the fish. He's missed it. So good long pause, let him line it up again. There's the lure, it's just popping there. Just little pops, little bleeps. There's a swell behind it, so the fish is still interested. I'll let him turn around again, come and have another look at it. And there it is again, a little swell. And there he's got, oh, he's just missed it. He's just missed it. The lure's still there, the fish is still interested. So I'm not going to pull that away. I need the fish to turn around before I move that lure. So it should have turned around and lined that lure up again. I'm almost at the lilies. This is going to be interesting. Need to get another strike before it gets to the lilies. Come on. We'll try that again. Up in over the lilies. I'm going to go deep into the cover this time. Right up the back there, hoping for a bigger fish. So there we go. Now I'm going to walk that lure out. It's only shallow in there, but it's still early morning. There's chances are that the fish are going to be up in the shallows and actively hunting around looking for a feed. Yep, got him. Oh, he's a little fella. He's just a little guy. Check him out. Another little Australian bass on the surface lure. They absolutely crunched that in there, and that's lilies. He really wanted it, and he wasn't going to let it go. He had several strikes at it before he actually took it. So, work these hooks out of him. Perfect hook up right in the corner of the mouth. So he wasn't going to get away in a hurry. And there you go, just a tiny baby one. So they come in all sizes. Of course, this fella's only a little tiny tacker. But once we get to those bigger fish, the ones about 50 centimetres long, geez, they can be some fun, and they can cause a bit of trouble in amongst those lilies, in amongst the weed. Geez, if we get one of those, it's going to be game on. In these really fishy looking spots, I work that lure dead slow, giving it plenty of pause time. Lots of those little twitches. Trying to call fish out from that structure. Oh, there's one. Trying to call fish out from that structure. I've got to get him over the lilies. He's in there. I've got to call him out from the structure, out from the lilies, out from the grasses. He's only a baby, a real little tacker, right in shallow there. Look at him. This guy's just a little fella, we'll pop him back. There you go, mate. Hey! We'll see if we can get another one. This retrieve I'm using is actually called walking the dog. That's because we make the lure dart from side to side, like it's walking along. This lake is so beautiful. Check it out. The water lilies, the little water hens, the bird life, it's just incredible. And of course, the bass. I'm just going to walk that lure out. It wasn't a very good cast, that one. Yep. Oh, little fella. Oh, he's only a little fish. Another little baby on the surface. But what fun. Did you see that fish take it? That's just the thing. You never know if they're going to be big or little in this place. Seems that the little fellas are whacking the surface lures today. Maybe the bigger fellas are out a little bit deeper. So we'll pop this fish back and let him go. Things have gone quiet on the edges, the sun's come high, and now it's time for a lure change. I've put the surface lure away, and I've gone to look for some deep schooling fish out in the middle. Out and around about 20 foot of water, I'm seeing quite a few fish on the sounder, so it's time to put a deeper lure down, so I've chosen a little blade bait. This fella here, he's going to go down there, I'm going to hop him along the bottom, I'm going to swim him along, I'm going to see what these fish want to eat. It shouldn't take too long, hopefully there's plenty there. We'll see how we go. Big school of bass back there. I'll just flick a cast over them and see what I come up with. That's the beauty of Isis, is it's such a diverse dam. You can go in and target fish around the edges, or you can come out into the deep water. Here I am in 20 foot of water, and I found some schooling fish out here, right away from the weed edge, out in the open, near the old creek bed drop off. I'm just going to hop some blades through those fish just to see what they want to eat. Big long casts. I really love spinning gear when it comes to catching schooled bass. You can put out those big long casts. So I choose a 7 foot 2 to 4 kg rod and a little 2000 or a 2 size reel like this one. Load it up with some 6 pound braid, bit of 12 or 14 pound leader. You're ready to go. So I'll just check my drag after that first cast. Don't want to get busted off. There are some big fish in here. I'm just doing a little hop along the bottom at the moment. Fair few fish there sitting close to the bottom. I'll just mix that up every now and then. I'll do a little roll, followed by the hops. Really pays to mix up your presentation. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow. It's just a matter of finding out when you find these schooling fish what they want to eat. So there's a fast wind, drop it back to the bottom, slow wind. And don't forget those hops. I've combined everything into one retrieve there. You can do that. But generally what I do is I'll fish a lure all the way back hopping, a lure all the way back with the slow retrieve, and a lure all the way back with the fast retrieve. And I just keep mixing up those presentations until I work out what the fish want. The important thing to remember when you're fishing bass schools is to keep the lure at the same depth as the fish. If the fish are off the bottom high on your sounder, you definitely need to keep the lure off the bottom and up a little bit higher. If the fish are down hugging the bottom, it's important to keep it down there close to the bottom. It's as simple as that, really. At the moment I'm just doing a little hoppy retrieve. I'm letting that blade get right to the bottom, then a little hop, and then just let it sink down again. So a little hop again, and let it sink down. Just waiting to see if any fish want to pick that up off the bottom. There's a little hop. Each time you can feel that blade vibrate as it drops back down. Yep, oh there's one. Just as I lifted it off the bottom, he ate it. Doesn't feel like a big fish. Oh, there's a little bit of weight there actually. Maybe he's a little side hooked. Here he comes. See what we've got here. He's hooked a little bit in the side, I think. He's only a little fella. Over here. There we go. He's a little fish too, but just a little bit over the legal size for bass of 30 centimetres. Little fish, he's just spat that little blade out. I'm going to pop him straight back, let him go, see if I can get another one. There we go. That's 2 techniques that I've caught fish on today. Just going to hop this blade along the bottom. Just little hops like that, just little small ones. Just making it vibrate each time I hop it up. Just waiting to see if a fish wants to jump on it. Each time I hop it, just a few winds. If the wind's not blowing me along, hop, wind, hop. Just wind up that slack, hop, wind up that slack. Yep, there's one, just as I lifted it up off the bottom. Oh, a little bit of weight in him. See what we've got here this time. Here, mate, over this side. Doesn't feel real big. Normally they'll come up pretty easily all the way to the boat, and that's where they decide to play up. So now you can see the rod starting to load up. The fish is really starting to not want to come in. Doesn't like the look of me too much. Look at him going there now. Oh. A bit of weight in this fish. It might be a little bit bigger. Oh yeah, that's a cracking bass. That's a good fish. That is a beauty. Jeez, that fish absolutely nailed that blade bait. It's right down its throat. Look at that. It just swallowed the whole thing as it took it. So just those little hops off the bottom, and as it was dropping back to the bottom, the fish came up, grabbed it, sucked it right down. I'm going to have to get some pliers to get that out. I'm going to let this fish go straight away. So I'll get the pliers out, let him go, and we'll see if we can get another one of these blades in the deep schools. This is fun. The lure I'm fishing at the moment is quite heavy for this depth of water. It's 3/8 of an ounce in around about 20 feet of water, sometimes only 15. So what I'm going to do is go to a lure with the same profile as this, but a lighter weight. So as it falls back to the bottom, it's going to fall slower and give those fish more time to come up and grab it, because that's when lots of the hits seem to be happening. This is the lure I'm going to use. It's a Berkeley Big Eye blade. Once again, another type of blade bait. I'll just pop this one off. Take one of these out and pop one of these little beauties on. Just going to attach him with that small clip. Now this lure, as I said, very similar in size, maybe a fraction smaller, but only about half the weight. So that's going to sink a lot slower. So I need to hold the boat in position. I won't be able to drift as hard with the wind, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the answer to catching more fish today. I've actually got a couple fish there now. Let's give it a go. first cast. You beauty. I knew that would be the ticket to catching more fish. Just shrew back over those schools and bang. I don't think it's a big fish, but it certainly goes to show a lure change can really pay off. Nice little bass. He's absolutely scoffed that down. I think it's going to be game on now on the Berkeley Big Eye blade. That's sweet. Nice fish. Missed him. He was up high, that fish. Feed it back to him. Feed it back to him. Got him. Yep. Oh, geez, I thought that was small, but it's starting to go hard now. Nice fish. Yeah. What a bite. That's fun. Oh, missed one. Just rolling it up off the bottom. I've got to go back there. Roll, lift. Roll. Just mixing it up a little bit. Doing a little bit of swimming with the blade, a little bit of hopping. Oh, that may have been a little tap. It's hard to tell. Oh, that's a nice fish. This is a nice fish. Oh, listen to this thing go. Oh, look at it go. This is a big bass, this one. Oh, it was a nice run to start off with. There's some massive head shakes. Look at this reel go. Look at it carving around. It's swimming right around the boat. This is going to be a big fish. Oh yeah. I need to get this one. I've got to get that net ready. Oh, this has got some weight, this fish. It's a nice fish. Oh, look at the weight in this thing. Look at the big head shakes. This is incredible. This is fish of the day. I really want this fish. Oh, this is the best fight by far. This has got to be huge, this thing. It's got to be 50 centimeters. That's the trophy. When you're talking about bass, we talk about 50 centimeter fish. And if you can nail a fish around that 50 centimeter size, it's a trophy specimen. And that's what I'm hoping for here. I'm trying to take my time. I don't want to rush things. I don't want to pull those little tiny hooks out. I almost got a glimpse of it there. What do we got? Oh, monster catfish. You're kidding. Oh no. Wasn't the species I was after. I knew if that was a bass, it had to be massive. I had a great fun time fighting it, but all the time, I thought that was a bass, and that's just the biggest letdown. It's a monster forktail catfish. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, I thought I had a monster. I thought it was going to be 50 something centimeters, 60 centimeters. It was huge. Geez, this thing fought. Dirty catfish. There we go. Oh, catfish slime up my line. Jeez, that sucks. I thought that thing was an absolute cracking bass. Thought it was going to be my biggest ever. Jeez. After confusing a massive catfish for a big bass, I'm really disappointed, and I want that big fish before I go home. So I've tried a couple of techniques that have been producing smaller fish. Now there's one that always seems to stand out on the big guys. So let's see how it goes. I've changed my lure from the blade to this lure here, which is called a jackal mask vibe. It's very similar. It vibrates through the water like a fish, looks just like a fish. It's got a much bigger profile, and it's actually soft. You can see that body's flexible there. Now a jackal mask vibe, it can be fished in a very similar fashion to a blade bait. It can be hopped, you can swim it along just by winding with the reel, but what the big fish really seem to love is a big high hop and let it sink all the way back down to the bottom. And it's while these lures are sinking back to the bottom that the fish just absolutely nail them.
Soft lipless crankbaits are one of my favourites, and believe it or not, they're one of the easiest lures to catch bass on. It's just simply a matter of casting the lure out over schooling fish and letting it sink all the way to the bottom. Once the lure's on the bottom, that's when the retrieve begins. A nice sharp hop to get that lure vibrating up high off the bottom, and then to simply let that lure flutter back down. Now, you might think that most of the strikes would come as that lure shoots off the bottom in that darting, vibrating motion, but most of the strikes will actually come as the lure flutters back to the bottom like a lifeless bait fish. Just continue with that hopping retrieve, and sooner or later it's going to go past a hungry fish that's going to find it irresistible.
Yep, this is a nice fish. This is a nice fish. Oh, lure change has paid off, I think. I think this could be a good fish. This might be a good bass. Oh, made it up to some nice arches there. I've only hopped the lure about 5 times after putting it on, and I'm already onto a nice fish, carving some water. Please be a bass. I was so disappointed after the catfish episode. It's a little bit embarrassing because normally I can call the fish. Oh, but this feels good. This is a nice fish. Thumping head shakes there, and so much weight. It's a bigger profile lure, bigger hops, a little bit more aggressive in the technique. Or maybe that's the answer to catching the bigger bass. Look at this thing go. Yeah, this is a good fish. So what I've been after, come on, make it a 50 centimetre one. It's the new goal. This is the fish I want. Up you come. Yeah, it's got some go about it. Come on, I want to see ya. Getting closer. Yeah, it's a bass. It's a nice bass. It's a cracking fish. Come on. In you. Oh yeah, this is a good fish. In you come. Yeah, that's the fish. Oh, what a fish. This bass is a monster. That is a beautiful fish for Lake Gregory. Oh, let's get it out of here and take a look. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, look at the size of this thing. That is a fish. Big, thick set shoulders. It's in great nick. Oh man, that's the fish I wanted. I'm glad I changed to that other technique. Hopping the mask vibe can sometimes be the ticket to catching those monsters. And look at that, first cast. I cannot believe this. I've nailed this stonking bass. Yeah. In any kind of fishing, you're going to have your good days and your bad days. Well, today was one of the better ones. I started off in the morning chasing those fish up in the water lily pockets on surface lures. Up there they were only small, so I had bigger fish in my sights, so I headed to the deeper water to look for schooling fish. Once I'd found a big, massive fish, you may as well say the mother lode, I started hopping my favourite fish producing lure, the little blade bait. The blade certainly produced the numbers, but after that disappointment with that catfish, I really wanted to get a big fish just to boost my spirits again. So I changed technique once again and went to my favourite big fish lure for deep schooling fish, the Jackal Mask Vibe. I hopped that soft vibe through there, and believe it or not, the first cast nailed that beauty. It was 52 centimetres of Isis bass, probably the biggest I've ever caught here before. It was absolutely awesome. And I guess 3 techniques, we managed to catch fish on them all. There's no doubt about this one, it's challenge complete.